Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday to show you a fun new project. So if you're just logging on, say hello so I know you're here. I'm just going to make sure we are live in my iPad and make sure my iPad volume is turned down. I hear my phone going off, and there we are on the live. There it is. So good evening. Hopefully you guys have had a great day. I didn't get much time out into the studio. We had to take Steven to a doctor's appointment, and then I had physical therapy today, 3 days in a row of physical therapy. Not quite sure I'm going to handle 3 days in a row, but we're going to push through because I need to start feeling better. I have so much to do and so much I want to do, and I can't. But hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel pretty soon. Good evening, Anna. Welcome. So if you're just logging on, say hello. Hello, Susan. So today's project, I literally have never seen it before. And every time I got on Facebook, well, when I had the chance today, I saw somebody made a different card with it. And I was like, whew, I think I'm going to go home and try that. So that's pretty much all I got done today was today's Facebook Live. It wasn't that difficult, but it did take me a few times to get it right. I think it only took me 1 or 2 tries. And I try to use paper that is one retired or we can't get anymore. So when I'm practicing, I'm not using our fun new paper. So that's like a little trick that I do, or I use copy paper. If I don't know how to do something and I don't, not that we're ruining our designer series paper, don't get me wrong, we can totally use it. But if I don't know what I'm doing or if I'm going to make mistakes, I'll try it out on copy paper or retired paper before I try it with our real good paper that we can still purchase. So that's just a little trick that I do. Hello, Jane. Hello, Kelly. Good evening, ladies. So it's not a complicated card. It definitely looks complicated, and it isn't. If I can do it, literally anybody can do it. So I'm super excited to show you. Let me point you down because it might actually take all of our live to do this card. So this is the front of the card. It is very not plain. It's just very subtle. It's a very subtle front of the card, but wait till I open it. This Saturday when we do card class, we are focusing on gift card holders. So that's what I wanted to do with this. Today's live and on Thursday's live is going to be different gift card holders. We're not making any of the ones we're doing today or Thursday on the live during class, so they are different. But I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a variety when it comes to gift cards. So this is the outside, and I put a little belly band on it. And when you open it up, are you guys ready? Oh, it has a purse with your gift card in it. And I do wish I would have put the Merry Christmas to You down a little bit farther, but it's okay. And you probably wouldn't even notice unless I said something, but my boxes are upside down. So I cut the designer series paper like I was supposed to, but I scored it wrong. And I should have redid it so they were going the right direction. But you know what? I thought, we all make mistakes and somebody is still going to get this card in the mail. It will need a little extra postage, but it does fold up pretty thin. I didn't add any dimensionals to the front of this guy just because this was already thick enough. It possibly could go through with just a normal stamp. But just to be safe, I would probably add a little extra postage to this. But it is super cute and super easy. So this is what we're going to make tonight. So if you're just logging on, say hello so I know you're here. So Kelly, you just got your first snow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been chilly here, I won't lie. But it actually has been really beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to start with first is our cardstock, and it measures 4 1/4 by 11. Let me flip it this way. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it right in half at 5 1/2, just like normal. This is a normal size card. There's no extra score measurements. So I'm just going to give that a good crease. And I want to decorate the inside and outside before I do the box. And I'll once we get to the box, I'll tell you why I did that. So I'm just going to flip this over, and you could really use any size, any side of your designer series paper. So I did put in the description that you want 2 pieces of our basic white, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4, and our designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. So all of this is just going to layer on top of each other. Oh, thank you, Kelly. It definitely is upside down, and I realized it obviously after I put it all together. But I didn't change it because we all make mistakes. And you probably wouldn't have known had I said anything, but I thought it was kind of comical. But my husband did. I took it in to show him, and he actually was pretty impressed with it as well. Okay, so there is the outside of the card. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring in our second piece of basic white, and it's the same size. It's just going to go on the inside. Now, my Merry Christmas to You came from the Holly Jolly Wishes. We're using this one down here for the inside, and then the outside I did Jingle All the Way. You could really use any of these sentiments if you wanted to. I was hoping it had a ho 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 on it. I thought that would have been cute, but that's not in this set, and I really wanted to use this one. And this is attached to my Stamparatus because I have to stamp quite a few of these. So this is in the spot that I need it to be. So we are going to kind of jimmy rig it and make it work for this one. So I wanted it down a little bit farther, and that looks pretty good because my other one, my original one, I went down 2 squares. So we are just going to push this all the way to the top. Ink it in our polished pink, and you'll see why I am putting this in first, because once we attach the purse to the inside, part of the purse lid is going to, or the base of it is going to go on the top of here. I'll explain. It sounds a little crazy, but it's really not. Okay, so let's put this piece in. Hello, Darlene. Good evening. Is anyone else just logging on? So there is the inside. So now, let me close up my ink. We are going to use it one more time, but I don't want to put my hand in it. Okay, so this is the front of the card, and that's the inside. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to bring in our designer series paper and our scoring tool because you need both. Let me put the lid on the glue so it doesn't dry out. So this is the piece of designer series paper. It measures 3.5 inches long by 9.5 inches wide. The mistake that I made is when I put the 3.5 inch side up at the top, I didn't make sure it was directional specific, and you want your 3/4 of an inch on this side. So this is going to be the top of your purse. Okay, let me get my score tool. So we're going to score this. I have it at the 3.5 inch side. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And we're going to score it at 2 3/4. So your 2 3/4, you want you want that on the right side of your paper. I don't know how to describe that. Okay, so now it is on the 9.5 inch side, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 4.5 inches, 5 inches, 5.5 inches, and then we're going to come over here and score it at 9. So that is a lot of score marks, and I did write it in the description before I went live. And sometimes you have to flip the designer series paper over to the back side to be able to see the score marks. So I'm literally just going to go ahead and fold up on all of these score marks. And since I'm using designer series paper, I'm just using my fingers. Sometimes I'll bring in the bone folder, but on this one, I'm just going to flip them over with my hands. Okay, so I'm almost done folding on my score lines. Somebody just sent me a text message. They probably don't realize that I'm on my live. Okay, So I went ahead and cut or folded on all the score lines. So now what we're going to do is usually when we make boxes, we cut up and then notch out these little guys, but we are actually going to remove all of them. We don't want any of these little squares hindering the way we fold our gift card holder. So I'm cutting that out. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. And it's probably too difficult for you guys to see the score marks. But you're just going to cut all these little squares out. We don't want them. And you're going to have lots of shrapnel left. And there's 2 right here. And if you're having a hard time seeing your score lines, if you take it over to a window, sometimes lining it up with the sun that's shining through will help you to see your score marks. It's dark right now, so I can't go to a window, and I'm on my live. Okay, so let me flip it this way. This is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have all 4 of your corners cut away and the 2 pieces on the inside. What I also want to do is come in on all of these little edges that are sticking out, and I just want to trim off a hair in the corners. And you could definitely do this while you're cutting your squares. I just kind of thought it might be a little bit easier to do it after the fact. And hopefully I have some tear tape in my little drawer because we definitely need tear tape. Okay. Hold, let me see if I have some here. And it doesn't look like I do, so I actually might have to run into the craft room and grab some tear tape because we definitely need it for this project. I'll be right back. So sorry. Okay, so sorry, I couldn't find it on my desk, so I just grabbed a new one. Stephen was actually out here a little bit ago, and I wish he would have stayed because he could have ran in and grabbed that for me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tape, well, if I can get this open, there we go. We're going to put some adhesive on the 3/4 inch flap. So this flap is going to get glued right down to itself. So we're going to glue that down, and now I will bring in my bone folder just to give that a good crease. This is why we're only making one, because I didn't want to totally confuse everybody. Okay, so now this is what we're left with, and our bows, or our boxes and bows are going the correct direction. Okay, so now these guys get glued together, and this is what's going to make your purse. Is that not the coolest thing? Oh, I was so excited that I figured this out. So we're going to put some adhesive on this one flap. And peel this off. Once you get the dimensions correct and once you get the cutting down, this thing goes together so quickly. So we're going to glue these 2 pieces together. And there we have our purse. And you can definitely lay it down now and give it a good crease. And this is going to be our gift card. So before we do anything with the bottom, I went ahead and grabbed, we don't sell this guy anymore, and I think it's the 1/8 inch. And I just lined it up next to the little crease that's on the inside, and I poked a hole with it. I wouldn't use a big punch, a big hole punch. I would use the smallest one you have. And then I like to thread my ribbon through a big needle, especially when the hole is super duper tiny. And this will help me get it through without getting super irritated and frustrated. Actually, I'm going to go through this way first. So if you go through this way, And you will have to tug on it a little bit because it's a tiny hole. And you really could skip this step as well. You don't have to put little handles on your purse. I just thought it was super cute. Okay, so there's one that's through. I'm going to cut this off. We'll make sure it's even once we get this all in. So I'm going to thread. And the one nice thing about using a needle with a big eye in it is you can see it. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but man, it is so hard to thread a stupid needle. And you will have to tug on it a little bit to get it through. But it's a heck of a lot easier than getting frustrated with it. There we go. This one's almost through. Ah! I don't want to rip the paper by pulling too much, but my hands are sweaty. Okay, there we go. So now we have lots of ribbon all over the place, but we will get that under control in a second. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to tie around the edge, right on the ends. And now I can pull this guy back through and the knot will stop it from coming through. And I don't want it very long, so I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to pull it back through just a tad so I can tie a knot in it. And you could even use a stapler, a mini stapler as well, if you didn't want to do the hassle of the ribbon. You could just staple it to the outside. Well, apparently I can't tie a knot today. There we go. Okay, so we have one side of the handle done. So let's go ahead and tie this one. I swear it's really not as complicated as I'm making it. Apparently I'm not quite sure how to tie bows and ribbons and knots and stuff. So I'm just tugging this through to see if it's the same length. So I'm going to just pull it through a little bit and trim this off. And I think my original one, I cut 2 6-inch pieces instead of doing it the hard way, doing it on the spool. So I think my original ones were 2 6-inch pieces. Okay. Whew, that was a moment. But I think we got it. There we go. And they're the same size. Thank goodness. Okay, so now for this piece, let's lay this flat and we're going to add 2 pieces of tear tape to the bottom. And yes, I am doing it on the same side that is going to be showing out. So I'm going to do this to this side as well. And this is where the magic happens. So let's bring in our card and open it up. Let's get all this shrapnel out of the way. So what we're going to do is we are going to take one side off. Maybe. That's the most challenging part, I guess. Let's crease that really good. Burnish it, and then it should come off. There we go. Okay. So now we have taken the one side off, and what I did on my other one, I just went ahead and tucked this on the inside. Don't take the adhesive off yet. I just tucked it to the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to line it up to that score mark. So I don't think I'm going to get my head in the camera, but I'm going to try to get it where you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just lining this up and kind of making sure it's even, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and press it down. And now, oh, that actually that turned out pretty good. It's right on the line. Let's see if you guys can see that. It is literally right on the score mark where it's supposed to be. So now we can take this side off. And I am going to now flip this up and kind of butt up the 2 edges right on the inside of your card. Can you see that on the inside? That looks pretty good. I'm going to give that a good crease. And you can get it closer if you want, but that actually will work, having that little bit of a gap on the inside. So now watch. So when you close your card, there it is. Is that not super duper cute? Who are you going to give this to? And they are going to get the biggest kick when they open this and their gift card is on the inside. I did try to do this a 1/4 of an inch smaller on each of the sides, and the gift cards still fit in there really well. But the only thing I had trouble with is the tear tape on such a tiny little piece. My hands are just too big to do that, but it did work. So if you are able to do it, you can make this where it's a little bit thinner and not so much cardstock. But I actually thought it looked cute like that as well. So now what I'm going to do is bring in a belly band. I'm actually going to put the gift card in there just to make sure I have enough room. And I didn't do any scoring. This piece is 1 1/4 inches by 11. I'm just going to lay it on. So sorry, my phone keeps dinging. It's my husband and my kids texting back and forth. And I'm just going to cross these, line it up, and then I can kind of bring in my bone folder and give that a crease. You can use, okay, let me turn that on vibrates, because it kind of sounds like they're going to be going crazy. I'm just going to grab a piece of tear and tape, put this right there, give that a good varnish, peel it off. There we go. And I just have a scrap circle. This one's 2 1/4 inch and this one's 2 inch. So I'm going to bring in the jingle all the way. Ink this guy up. And I wanted the outside of the card to be very, not too detailed. You can definitely make it as detailed as you want. I wanted the focal point to be the inside of my card. So that's why I chose just to do something simple on the outside. So there's that. I'm going to grab another piece of tear tape. I'm going to put this right in the center. Peel this off. And then I'm going to lay this right in the center. And this circle will cover up the edge of your belly bands. So that's why I do my belly bands on the inside. I'm sorry, that's why I fold them on the inside, because I can always cover it up. And if you can see, I didn't line it up perfectly on that edge, and it's really not tragic because we can fix it. Bring in your paper snips and snip that off. And it didn't cut all the way through, but that's okay. And then you just pull it. Look, nobody knows that you did that but us, because we did it on the live. So there you go. How cute and fun are these cards? So here's the one we just made. And if you're just joining us, you can rewatch the Facebook Live, and I will teach you how to do this fun purse gift card holder. And you could really do these for any and all occasions, literally birthdays, anniversary, wedding. Oh, that would actually be beautiful with like a Bed Bath & Beyond gift card in there, a little shopping bag. Oh, the possibilities are endless with this fun card. And don't be afraid to make a mistake. Literally, it is okay to make a mistake, because I did. This one's completely upside down, and I'm still going to send it out because we all make mistakes, and it's super cute, and nobody's really going to ever notice. So just keep practicing. Rewatch this Facebook Live a million times if you have to. Just make sure that you have super strong adhesive. That's the key to this, is using some tear tape. You could use the green glue, the liquid glue, but you just have to hold it there for a couple seconds until it attaches and dries. And the tear tape actually just is a lot less messy, and you can just put it down and go, because it is stuck once it's down. So hopefully you guys give this card a try. It was super fun to make, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll do what I can to help you. This is not something we're making in this Saturday's class. I just wanted to let you guys know that it might be too much in a class. But maybe we could do a to-go class on it, where I do a little bit longer of a video to show you guys little extra steps to do it. So anyway, I will see everybody on Saturday for card class, and we are making gift card holders. So they are super fun and super cute, and I will be finishing prepping those hopefully tomorrow. Okay, if you guys need it, oh, I did forget to tell you, December 1st is the clearance rack is doing a refresh, and the last chance, things that are retiring from this mini catalog is now on clearance as well. So don't forget to check that out. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.